Hi everyone, welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. Today we are going to be making a meringue cookie. Now, when I was growing up, they were called Nighty Night Cookies. You can actually Google Nighty Night Cookies and find out that that was the original name of them. Before keto, low carb ever existed, there was a cookie called Nighty Night Cookies, and they were made from sugar, egg whites, chocolate chips, and sometimes chopped pecans, and sometimes vanilla. Over the years, as people have gotten healthier and have wanted to take carbs and sugar counts way down, we've created what's called a meringue cookie, tomato. And now they're made with egg whites, sugar substitute. They still say a sugar-free chip and pecans, half and half. If up to you, I'm only going to use the chocolate chips because that's how I grew up with them, and vanilla is optional. So everything is still a mimic. The only thing is we're taking away a bunch of carbs. I looked up the original. The original 2 cookies was over 300 calories and 45 carbs. We are going to have 1 carb for 2 cookies and about 55 to 60 calories. I'm still working out my math. I'll have that stuff down there. So for 2 cookies at under 100 calories and 1 carb, pretty good. So we're gonna have 2 egg whites, exactly the same as the original Nighty Night, but the keto meringue. So 2 egg whites go into a bowl, room temperature. Otherwise they will not make peaks. And what I'm gonna do, and I have to get off camera for this, I will tell you I have a half a cup, oh, I put it away. So I have a half a cup of powdered Swerve. You need a powdered sweetener of choice, one that measures 1 for 1 as regular sugar. I recommend Swerve. Now, this one is not like the granular, so it's not going to have the cooling effect. If you read the back, the ingredients are slightly different, so that's a good thing. Most people like the powdered Swerve, and the reason I'm saying powdered is it will not leave any gritty texture. If you have a granular, whether it's allulose, monk fruit, whatever it is that you like, you can always run it through a food processor, until you get that half a cup and powder it up yourself. So there, you can make powdered sugar out of regular, whatever you have. I happen to have powdered Swerve. And then if you want to, you can do 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips and 3/4 of a cup of pecan halves for a total of 1.5 cups of add-ins. I'm doing 3/4 of a cup of, now I'm using Bake Believe this week. You've heard me mention Lily's. They're both a sugar-free chocolate chip that uses stevia. So none of the carbs because it's all sugar alcohol based, so it brings it to a 0. I'm going to use that, and I'm not going to use the pecan halves, and I actually like the meringue taste, so I'm not going to use the full 1.5 cups. I'm going to enjoy some of the meringue. But I'm going to whip the eggs for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to slowly stir in the powdered sugar for an additional 5. So it's 10 minutes of whipping. You don't need to watch that. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. They recommend a handheld. You can use your KitchenAid, but they recommend a handheld so you can get all the nooks and crannies and really get it lifting. You can get down and up and move around. So I'm going to be using my handheld, which also gets loud. Once it gets to the nice stiffs, I'm going to be slowly pouring in the sugar. Once I am ready, I will come back and we will fold in the chips and a small cookie scoop. Back in the day, you could either pipe it or you would dollop them, and so they kind of look like a Hershey's Kiss. I want them all measured the same because I am going to do the macros, so I'm using a small cookie scoop. Make sure your paper is parchment lined. That's the key to it not sticking, because also back in the day, you didn't truly cook your cookie. There wasn't all the risk of the foodborne illnesses. So you would preheat your oven, you'd mix it up, and then you'd turn your oven off and you'd let it sit for the night, thus Nighty Night. We are preheating to 250, and it actually dinged a minute ago. We are gonna cook it for 35 minutes, turn the oven off, and then let it sit for 25, and then take it out to cool. But it'll stick on silicone, so you do not want that, and it'll stick on a regular pan. So make sure you line it with parchment. So that's how we're gonna cook it, and they'll be ready in an hour. And you don't have to worry about humidity that way either. That's an old thing where you could only cook it if the weather was right. Now you can cook anytime you want. And we're gonna not worry about food allergies. So I will be back after these are whipped up. Okay, so we have a beautiful meringue. I'm gonna go ahead and tilt this down. Lots and lots of mixing. So this is where you need to be careful. When you dump these in, they're gonna sit on top and you just fold. I don't know if I can try to make it so you can see. It literally is like folding air. So we're gonna barely mix these. Barely, barely. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing there. And you can always add more or less. I'm gonna kind of leave it. Like I said, I want some meringue in mine. Some people like to have very little of the meringue and more of the chocolate and the pecan. So basically, this is what's gonna happen. Got my cookie sheets, and I'm just gonna come and scoop. Now, these are not going to spread. I just need to let you guys know that from the get-go, and they're not very big. You'll see that. They're pretty small. I'm doing like 3/4 of a scoop. There we go. You can probably fit 4. And you're just gonna place them on there. So I'm gonna continue to do this. And then when, like I said, when I'm done, they're gonna go into the oven, 35 minutes, turn the oven off at 250. Turn the oven off, leave them in another 20 to 25, and then take them out. Because they're on parchment paper, take them off the parchment paper and let them cool on your counter. Get them completely off of anything and just let them finish cooling. And we'll be back when they are fully done. All right, so the cookies are done and they are amazing. So I'm gonna show you what they look like. Let's take a look down. Trying to
slay.
Yeah, right? So what I have to tell you is this is a recipe I grew up on. They are golden because they are cooked. If you make them the Nighty Night way, the uncooked way, they stay white, but that's not the correct way anymore, food poisoning. So use my method. Here we go. We're all gonna grab a cookie. Grab any one you want. I'm going this one.
This one's calling to me.
That one's calling to you. So what do you guys notice? They're light?
They look hollow.
Yeah.
They seem hollow.
They do seem kind of
Very
hollow.
soft, very light.
Maybe a cream puff.
Like a cream puff? Okay. All right. Let's do this thing. I grew up on these.
Tastes good. You gotta get used to that texture though.
Doesn't it taste good? Mm-hmm. Just take a bite. Take a bite out of crime. That used to be a commercial.
McGruff the crime dog.
So, this is my own recipe, my own tweak. I should not talk with my mouth full. So I looked up the original 90 Night Cookie, and like I said, 335 calories for 2 cookies and 45 carbs. 1 cookie, my recipe, 29 calories, no net carbs, none. So 2 cookies is like 60 calories. So, as she says, slay. And you should totally make these. These are a great holiday cookie. And from our house to yours, we will see you next time. All right. Bye.